Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Hello Dave with Down-to-Earth Astronomy. It's Monday, so let's take a look at what's been going on in Elite and on the channel. In Elite, most noticeably, we have the release of the first dev diary regarding the Odyssey update coming to Elite at the start of next year. This dev diary revolved around the planet-side exploration. We saw some really cool shots of the atmospheric effects. We've seen some screenshots of some plants they've designed, and we saw that they released that we're going to be some kind of hand scanner allowing us to collect data from these, not actually harvesting them, but just like scan them and take data and go back and sell it, just like planet data and stellar data that we're already collecting. This was announced doing a 4.5-ish minute video that they posted here on YouTube, but it was then also followed up by a 1-hour live stream that Frontier also did, where they went into a little bit more detail. It was, amongst other things, announced that there's going to be new ranks, potentially more, at least one, but potentially more new ranks that you can rank up in. That's going to unlock various things, I guess. We don't know if they're going to unlock anything. I'm just guessing here. At least that's something that that will be there, and exactly how that's going to work and what it's going to include, we'll have to wait and see about that. And of course, there will also be plenty more dev diaries. This one was around exploration, but there will probably also be dev diaries around combat, mining, and other aspects. And this will probably something that will continue all the way up until launch of Odyssey. I would probably also expect that there's going to be some betas at some point. Now, exactly when the different events regarding this is going to happen, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I did already make a video where I went into a little bit more detail regarding the dev diary, so I'm not going to dive into too much with it here. And I also joined a roundtable hosted by Kai over from Elite Week, where we spent like 2 hours talking over the whole experience, not just the dev diary video, but also the live stream and the whole, like, what do we know so far and what do we still need answered. So if you want to see that, it is available here on the channel in a video on demand version. So you can go and watch that as well. Of course, we will be doing more of these live streams as information comes out, but I don't know when we're going to do them, because we do them when there's something to talk about. So probably shortly after the next dev diary. I don't know when that is. So stay tuned to the channel if you want to keep yourself updated with what's going on with Odyssey. Now, next, I need to ask for your guys' help. You see, this channel's community's in-game player faction, TerraX AstroCorp, has been dragged into a conflict we didn't want to be dragged into, but we're in it now nevertheless. This revolves around the system Leasty, and we need every able commander. We need Xbox, PlayStation, PC, doesn't matter what platform you play on, we need you, we can use your help. I don't care if you are an explorer, if you're combat, if you do trade, whatever you do, we can find something that suits your playstyle where you can support the faction. If you are interested in helping us, there's a link in the description for Discord where everything will be organized and you can get information about what you need to do, where you need to go to help the faction. Now, I want to give you a little bit more insight into what this whole thing is about. And for that, you first need a very brief introduction to background simulation, or just BGS for short. That is, every system in Elite can have up to 7 factions. There can be 8 in some situations, but normally you can have up to 7 factions. And if you want to protect your system, you make sure that your system always has 7 factions in them. This is something we do all the time in TerraX, in our local systems. We ensure that they are filled up with 7 factions at all times, and if factions try to retreat out of those systems, well, we make sure that they don't. This is done to protect our core systems. Now, the faction planners, they spotted about a month ago that a faction was retreating out of the system, Leasty. Now, Leasty wasn't really on our agenda, on the system we were looking for, but suddenly we have this faction expanding. The system is not that far from our core systems, like 24 light years or something, so it's pretty close, and it was definitely within our reach. Now, we kept an eye on it, and it seemed like nobody was doing anything to prevent that retreat. The faction team, they engineered a plan, and we jumped into Leasty as the other faction was retreating out of it. I should say this retreat was not something of our doing. We didn't do anything to further it. We just noticed that it was there, and we kept an eye on it, and we took an opportunity. There is no player factions in Leasty other than us now. At least at the time when this was happening, there was no other player factions in system, so it was good game. It was basically an unclaimed system, so we jumped in and we began working the system. Now, this is about a month ago, and we then been working in Leasty for about a month, slowly gaining influence. A couple of days ago, we then get contacted by some people from the Alliance. They are claiming that Leasty is their system. Now, they want to open negotiations around what we could do in Leasty, which we of course accepted. Now, it quickly turned out these negotiations weren't really negotiations at all. It was just them sending demands and ultimatums at us that we just had to accept. There was really not a lot of room for negotiating anything at all. But we tried nevertheless, back and forth, and we didn't get anywhere. We just ran in circles. We did end up accepting their demands of us not taking control of the system, but they would allow us to sit in second place. Now, we had one little thing we wanted in return, and that was that we had a decent space down to the factions below us, so that we weren't in risk of being kicked out of the system. I mean, we already in Leasty, we wouldn't want to leave it. So we wanted a bit of security in the system now that we were not allowed to take system control. Now, as soon as we said that we wanted to accept their initial demands, they began piling on more and more demands. And then all of a sudden that security we were asking for was unacceptable. That could just not happen. At this point, we realized this is not going anywhere, and we ceased negotiation, and that's when the conflict started. Since then, the war machines on both sides have been grinding into gear, and even though we are, size-wise, I guess, the underdog here, we have not only been holding our ground, but we've actually been making good progress in the system, at least at the time of this recording. This is, of course, why we need more boots on the ground, we need more people. Now, as I said, this doesn't necessarily involve PvP, if you don't want to, and it doesn't necessarily involve PvE combat either. It can just be trade, can be mining, can be exploration. We can find something for you to do. I think it's clear that Leasty has been a grossly mismanaged system. Now, this Alliance group of people, they didn't do anything for the 5 days they had to do anything when the retreat happened. I expect they didn't even notice it. They didn't do anything when we originally went into the system. I think the only reason why they noticed was because someone else actually poked them and said, hey guys, have you noticed this is happening in that system over there? So they don't pay attention. They grossly mismanaged Lave, they lost Lave, now they're grossly mismanaged Leasty, and it seems like history will repeat itself. So hope I'll see you guys over on Discord, hope I will see you guys helping TerraX to further our course in Leasty. Now finally here, towards the end, I just quickly want to mention the live stream tomorrow, same time as usual, 7 o'clock in-game time on YouTube and on Twitch. And as I announced last week, I'm going to do a I build your ship kind of live stream. You guys have already been sending in lots and lots of wonderful ideas for builds. The idea is that you guys send in either existing builds you want me to look at, or maybe you have an idea for a build. It can be either something semi-serious, it can be something completely silly, and I've definitely received lots and lots of both categories. And what I'll be doing then during the live stream tomorrow is I'll take those ideas and we're going to take them into Coriolis, and we're going to see what we can do regarding creating a build for that specific purpose. It's usually a ton of fun, and we always come up with something really, really silly, and also sometimes something that might actually be usable in game. But nevertheless, that's going to happen tomorrow. If you still have ideas, you can still get them in. At some point tomorrow, I will be sitting down looking at what's come in and decide which one I'm going to use doing the live stream. So do send them in today. I have my email in the description. You guys send them there. You can send them on Discord. That's also a possibility. But I hope I'll see you doing the live stream tomorrow. It's usually a ton of fun and a good laugh. So thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give a like, subscribe, and until next time, I will see you guys in space.